you can never say you don't have time to market your studio, whether that is through Facebook marketing, whether it be through organic posting, whether it be through your alliances that you build, the referrals that you work on.
Hey, Difference Makers, welcome back to the Difference Maker Revolution podcast. And today we are joined by Jeanine McLeod in Tampa, Florida, and Steve Saporito in Melbourne, Australia. So,
yeah, on the Mornington Peninsula, to be even more precise.
There you go. So, today we're talking about
your marketing mix, Jonathan.
Your marketing mix.
Your marketing mix. Get out a little mixer, right? It's
your marketing mix. What on earth is that?
Well, it's making sure that you have different streams of marketing. We hear people talk about their marketing all the time, but we have a lot of people that seem to rely on only one stream of marketing. So they put everything into Facebook, but they don't have, say, some strategic partnerships. They're not doing any expos. They're not varying their marketing up. So then that way, their potential clients are being sourced from a variety of ways.
But Jeanine, I don't have time to do all these different things.
Oh, Jonathan, that, if you're running, we say that if you're running a business, right, Steve, you have to be working on your business every single day. And so you have to make the time. Otherwise, you end up in this entrepreneurial roller coaster. And, you're busy, and then you have nothing. And then you're busy, and then you have nothing. And that usually coincides with when you're marketing versus when you're not, and when you're marketing versus when you're not. And so it's very important to be able to you have to find that time. Like, there is no excuse. This is time that has to be made. If you looked at it as important as editing your photographs, no one's not going to edit their photographs, right? They're never going to say, I don't have the time to do that. So it's the same thing. You can never say you don't have time to market your studio, whether that is through Facebook marketing, whether it be through organic posting, whether it be through your alliances that you build, the referrals that you work on. And we're going to talk about that mix today and why and expos too, right? Like, you can never rely on one form of marketing, and you actually can't even put 90% into one, right? Like, you need to have a mix, because what if something goes away? It's like the danger of having any elephant in your business, even like one big elephant client. I've heard different business speakers talk about how they won't allow their business to have one client be more than X% of the business, because if something happens to that client, it detrimentally affects your business, right? So it'd be the same thing for marketing.
I still have to do this, even though I had 2 clients last week. Imagine, and spent 35 hours editing. How am I going to fit this in?
Well, there it is, Jonathan. You found it right there. You figured out where to find your time. You should not be spending 35 hours editing for 2 clients. You have AI to fix that for you now.
Yeah, especially now with AI to help you do all that.
So I know.
We should have more time than ever.
I was just playing devil's advocate there. So we're talking about the marketing mix, right? But what's like realistic numbers wise in terms of how many like clients you can photograph and sell to or do a design consult with in a day?
That's going to depend on beliefs. And
let's say you're by yourself to start off, because I think
sometimes the
like
niche.
95% of the people of the industry are probably just working by themselves, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think they should, like, what could they be photographing if they wanted to in a day, in a week? How many bookings?
This is going to vary on who you talk to, isn't it?
I know it is going to vary on who you talk to, but if you're talking one, and what genre you're photographing to, right? Like, obviously, what type of experience you're creating and providing for your clients. That's a tricky question.
Look at these 2 politicians not wanting to answer the question because they know their answers are going to be different.
Well, the answers are going to vary depending upon, the genre and how hard people want to work too, I think.
It's like interviewing Trump and Clinton here. God, answer the question.
How well you? Well, we didn't insult you yet.
No, we didn't switch from domestic to foreign policy, you know. So you know.
I mean, when you have your systems in place, it should be easy to do two a day and include time to make phone calls. But some people think it's one a day, and then you've got other people that believe they can only do two a week. So, I mean, it just varies on the person and how much time you're actually engaged in being productive, and how much of that time is busyness rather than business.
Ooh,
Okay, so let's
Steve.
talk about that, because I feel like we all, like, we do it in every business. We waste time, right? So when it comes to marketing specifically, because we're talking about the marketing mix today, we're going to get into the different ways you can market your business, get new leads, get bookings. Like, how much of your time every week should be spent on marketing, do you think?
My goal is 2 hours a day.
2 hours a day on marketing you spend.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that, like, involve?
So it can involve any mix of things. It can be phone calls I'm making with my different alliance partners or meetings I have set up with them. It could be working on my social media posts and getting them scheduled out for the week. It could be networking. It could be attending a networking meeting or organization. It could be making phone calls to existing clients to check in and say, hi, my goal is to do 5 a day. And I do that during that time. And so that's just picking up the phone and saying, hey, Steve, oh my gosh, I saw that your son won his soccer tournament last weekend. That's amazing, you know, and just whatever. And so it's reaching out to existing clients. It's planning our email newsletters that we send out. It's website. It's a huge mix of things, Jono.
Right. So let's take you back in time. So it's Thursday.
Do you know what I've seen, Jono?
Go on.
When we shared the call sheet, and I know, Jeanine, you used the call sheet, and we allocated specific columns for exactly what Jeanine was talking about, making phone calls to new potential clients. But we also put in a column for making calls to your VIP existing clients. And I feel that that's the area that a lot of photographers forget. And they're very focused on new clients, new clients, new clients. And that is the most time consuming because you've got to do the marketing. These days, people aren't picking up their phone anywhere near as easily as years ago. And so it's more effort and time and energy to actually get a hold of somebody that doesn't know you. But when you put some time into calling some of your VIP clients, some of the people that you genuinely would love to work with again, that's a much quicker turnaround time in being able to contact them, as well as getting them in. And we have clients that come back again and again and again, and we see it across every genre. We see it across all over the world. The other column that
Okay, hold on.
Well, I was going to say, because I had
to
go along with what Steve said. So go ahead.
So
Okay,
marketing mix point number one is the phone is a marketing tool, right? So
Yeah.
the first thing that every single person, if you want bookings, should be doing, whether you work on your own, whether you have a team of 5 or 10 or more, is picking up the phone every single week,
Every single
and
day.
calling every single day,
Every single
and
day.
calling your VIP clients.
Yes.
That's a marketing tool.
But I think scheduling the time and bringing that into your conscious awareness that this is available to you, I think needs to be part of that thought process in marketing, because there's no point in bringing in new clients if you're never going to pick up, bringing in new leads or potential clients if you're not making the time to actually pick up the phone and contact them.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
And if you're not going to do what's easy first and set yourself up for success, then you're not being efficient.
Makes sense. Jeanine, you said you wanted to talk about this.
Well, I had a quote that I had read, and I'm going to change it slightly to go with fully booked difference makers, right? So a fully booked difference maker business will spend more money on their existing customers before they spend money on their prospective ones. And I heard that and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. And that needs to be what people think about, because it's so easy to write. And we're going to talk about one of the marketing mix is Facebook advertising, but it's so easy to put together an ad and put a budget to it. It's harder to think about how you're going to love on your existing clients, right? Because that takes work and takes effort. And so I think oftentimes it's missed or it's taken for granted that your clients will just come back to you. And so I think that that is something that people really need to take to heart, is that you need to spend the time, the money, and the effort on your existing clients to build up the repeat of them coming in over and over again to get the lifetime value of that client. Well, one, you want to love on your existing clients. So much better. But two, if a client comes back more than once, the lifetime value of that client increases X-fold, right? And so now your cost to maintain that and to grow that is so much less than the cost of acquiring a new client, and less exhausting when you think about it. It's exhausting to constantly have to find new clients and nurture them and build those relationships. It's easier, and it goes along with many of our personality types to continue a relationship and always have to look for a new one
that we've already built.
But
I think, Jeanine, in a lot of cases, it's outside of people's conscious awareness that it's even available, because there's lots of myths in our industry. And one of those myths seem to be that if they've spent, or they spend a lot of money, they'll never come back. But if you give value, right, and that's what we're about at The Difference Maker, giving value to our clients, understanding what our clients truly, truly value, and finding solutions for them, then what we have found is that those people that do spend well are the ones that tend to come back and tend to be your best clients, and do tend to be the ones that refer you more people like them. And so I think, I'm going to bring in something else now, giving those clients the tools that they need to be able to refer you.
Yeah, that's another part of the bake mix, right? Another part of the marketing
the
mix.
second part of the mix.
Another part of that mix.
Let's stop for a second. Stop for a second.
I've introduced something else now, haven't I?
You guys are killing me.
Stop, rewind. Let's do a stop, rewind on Steve. Okay, so we've talked about calling VIP clients. So write that down right now. Everyone who's listening, you should be calling your VIP clients every single day and giving them the opportunity to come back in. Second things that we're moving on to now that you should be doing, potentially.
Oh, but before we move on, Jono, there's a few components to that, okay, that I think we should share.
Go on.
All right. So I think part of what Jeanine was saying is you actually have to dedicate some resource and dedicate the time to call those VIP clients. But there's also sometimes you need a few wins, okay? And those VIP clients that you've built a relationship, you've gotten to know, tend to be your easy wins, that they're easier to get a hold of. They're more likely to book because you've built that relationship. And sometimes it makes picking up the phone for, say, a Facebook lead that you haven't built any relationship with yet. There is no trust built. There's no rapport built yet. It just allows you to be more confident about picking up the phone and having those conversations with people, because you have a few wins on the board at the start of the day. And so sometimes we need a bit of a couple of those easy wins to set ourselves up for success for the day. And we become a lot more efficient because we now picking up the phone with a whole new mindset. Is that a bit too woo-woo?
You can never be too woo-woo.
But I honestly find that if we can get a few wins, it just changes the whole tone of the day and changes how we approach those calls that we need, the other calls that we need to make.
Okay. So, are we ready to move on to the second thing
Yes.
that you mentioned briefly? Okay. So, the second thing you mentioned is that we need a way or system or something in place where we can allow our VIP clients to refer their friends, family, whoever to us, right?
And to come back
So,
themselves.
talk to me about that. So, number 2 thing you need to be thinking about is referral system for your VIP clients. So, what I'm hearing? Number 2 in the marketing mix? Right. Talk to me. What, how, when, why?
No, I was to say I'll like getting them to come back, and I could talk about that, Stephen. Then you could talk about getting them to get others back. So, if you part of a system you can have is to always have, especially if you have a hard time with this concept that people will come back over and over again, is having a reason to invite them back, and that needs to be part of your system, and it needs to be part of your marketing.
You stole mine.
Oh, did I? I thought you were
Why
going to
did
do a
I buy?
completely different one. That's mine. I had in my head what you were going to do. I took a different one.
Go.
Hilarious. Maybe I know you too well. And
No,
then
I was going to go. I was going to go 2 ways. So anyway, it's all
That's
good.
so funny.
Go.
But yeah, no, you always need to have a reason to invite people back. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for a session. You can have events or open houses or different types of socials at your studio. If that's a more comfortable thing for you to be able to invite people to. But if you always have that in your mind, it gives you something when you're talking to people, even out networking, right? To invite them to something at your studio. But you need to have a reason. You need to have it in your mind. It needs to be part of your script. And you can't expect, I learned this a long time ago, you cannot expect your clients to come up with the reason to come back. You need to provide it. I mean, you're going to have, your unicorns who come up with, oh, I have a new outfit. Can I come in? You know what I mean? I mean, like you're going to have those that are just so in tune with the idea that they love to have photographic experiences all the time that they're going to come in naturally themselves. But for the most part, you need to give people a reason and you need to present it to them. And so like, for some, it can be holiday calendar wise, let's just take Mother's Day, for example. Most genres you photograph, you can have Mother's Day as a reason to invite people back again. Let's say the last time they came in, it was a family portrait experience. Now you can call them. I'm like, you know what? It would be amazing to celebrate you and the children. Let's say last time it was just the child. Guess what? Now it's a great time to celebrate mother and her children. Let's say last time it was a boudoir experience. Guess what? Now it's a great time to celebrate mom and the children. You see what I'm saying? So like you can always pull on things like that to have a reason to invite people back, no matter what the genre was. Like, if it was a pet, like, all right, well, now let's celebrate you and your fur baby, not just your fur baby, right? So it's just an example. There's so many out there, but it has to be a mindset that you put yourself in.
I'm going to hit the pause key for a second just to clarify because I'm a bit confused. So,
I thought you had to pee.
Are we moved on to number 2 referrals, or are we still talking about number 1 getting people back and giving them reasons to come back? For me, this sounds like we're still talking about number 1, right?
No, number 1 is phone calling your clients.
Okay. So number 2 I thought was getting referrals from your VIP clients, no?
No, number 2 was getting them to come back.
Number 3 is
reasons
referrals.
to get them to come back?
Number 3 is referrals.
Okay, sorry. I'm clear now.
Number 1 is more on the building relationships. It usually ends up turning into more bookings, but the purpose is to continue and to foster the relationships with your clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think too, Jeanine, this is why it's important to, have something like the engine and collect the data, tagging clients for certain events that they will be interested in the future. Collecting birthdays, collecting anniversaries, and that goes back to what you were talking about, having a reason to call them. Like if you
Happy birthday, Steve!
Yeah, if you know that somebody's turning a milestone birthday, start with the milestone birthdays, and that really does give you the reason to call and be genuine about that call.
Does that answer your question, Jono? Does that clear it up?
Sure. Let's move on to the next one.
All right. Referrals.
referrals.
So you need to have, a referral program that's consistent. And I think a lot of people try a referral program, but often it's not something that's consistently done over time. And the reality is that the experience has to be set in place and amazing for people to want to refer you. And so I think with a referral program, the first thing is, get your systems in place first. Make sure that the experience is amazing, because then it just makes people want to refer you. And then when you are sending anything to them to help, if you're sending gift certificates to give to, people that they believe would benefit from an experience with you, then you're giving them some of the tools. Don't think that they know what to do with them. In your referral program, you've really got to spell it out of, what they should be doing, who they should be looking out for, and then seed the fact that, there could be other people that they know and trust themselves that would love to have an experience of their own. And so it shouldn't, referring somebody, how can I say this? The first time they hear about the fact that they could be referring somebody shouldn't be when they receive a letter and a gift certificate in the mail. It should be seeded throughout their experience.
And something too, Steve, when you referred to that call sheet earlier, is eyes open, ears open. So many times our clients bring other people into the studio with them. And it's like a referral just walked in onto your lap. But oftentimes people just watch it go by and don't engage and see the referral that's right there before them.
Now, that's that extra column we put in, right? And it wasn't until I pointed that out to a few members what that actually meant, which is exactly what you said. Sometimes clients bring their best friend in to come and collect their photos, or somebody's driving them to that experience. And a lot of the times it's because that person is really interested or that person is excited for them. And if given the opportunity, would want their own experience. And it's amazing how once people understood, and I'm speaking about some of the studios that I walked into and, I did one-on-ones with, it's only when I pointed that out that suddenly they saw people that they could potentially book, and they were getting 2-3 bookings a week purely from people who were coming in and coming with their friend and collecting, or it was exactly that. They're coming in the door, or sometimes they have a friend that has driven them there. But often we send them away, or we don't see them as a potential client. And so, we don't offer them the opportunity to book in. And if you could just get 2 extra clients a week, 1 client a week, even 2 a month, what would that do to your business?
Yeah. All right. So that's number 3, which is referrals. One of the things that you said there was, you have to have an amazing experience. I think the next podcast, I'm going to ask you guys what makes an amazing experience, because I think a lot of people don't actually know. So let's add that for the next topic. So marketing mix. So what else? So we've talked about calling VIP clients every single day. We've talked about reasons then for them to come in. We've talked about referrals, like from people who come with your client to collect orders, or, having a referral system in place. What else can we be doing in our marketing?
And don't forget seeding it throughout the whole experience. Like refer a friend shouldn't happen on a letter. We should have been mentioning it all the way through.
Right. So what happened?
I think one thing that we shared in the inner circle, or we've shared it a few times, And we had one member mention, maybe 3 weeks ago now, Olivia, that she was taken up the idea of doing portrait parties, where she, and a lot of people go out and deliver photos to their clients, take them back because they don't have a studio. So, they go to their homes, they do the photos, and then they go out and deliver the photos. And so one of the ideas is to run a portrait party where those people, so the client then get to invite some of their friends that are excited, and then they deliver it and they do a whole presentation. And it's a whole, it's a whole thing. But Olivia's results were similar to our results in that for everyone that she runs, she tends to book on average 6 new clients, and they are referrals because the people that have had their experience are inviting their friends. And there's big unveiling. You bring the champagne, you bring the, some nibbles. You talk about the story and the experience, and pretty much that client's selling it for you. So I think the goal is to get 8 to 12 people there, and on average, Olivia said that she books 6. So that's a form of referral marketing in my mind.
There we go. Portrait parties, a method of referral marketing.
But
I know
you've got to have the confidence to do that, and it'll suit some people more than others.
So,
but Janine's idea of having clients appreciation nights, I think that's a brilliant one too. A lot of people can do that.
Well, let's go to that because we're getting tight on time. So the clock is ticking for this podcast.
There's so many things you could be doing.
And there's so many reasons, so many ways for you to be getting bookings. You should not have
we haven't even
any excuse for not making
we haven't even
bookings.
We haven't touched some of the obvious ones.
Like
right.
Christmas.
Jeanine, go for it. Next. Day. What's up?
Go.
Well, do you want me to do an obvious one since we talk about it so often on this podcast? We need to talk about Facebook marketing, both paid and organic. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of it, right? So YouTube Shorts, there's so much out there that you should be producing content on, both organically and paid. And it has to be a mix of what you do.
So, Jeanine, talk to me about some of the organic stuff, and then I'll briefly mention paid.
So organically, it's interesting. I actually find it to be easier for us now, right? So the algorithms have all shifted into a way that it's really about, they call it interest marketing now, which is brilliant. We happen to have a product that people are interested in, and making a difference in their lives. We are storytellers. Right. So photographers should be very excited, especially difference maker photographers, because we are telling stories every single day. So creating content for us should be easy. This should be a no-brainer. It should be something that you can we're doing this all day. I feel bad for other businesses like accountants and stuff that, like Steve, when you were an accountant, it's not fun. It's numbers. Like people offload that to someone else because who wants to do it? You're not telling stories. You're calculating things. They have to create and invent stories. We are telling them every single day, right? We're orchestrating a story in our studios every single day. So for us, being able to take these stories and retell them in some sort of organic way, I think it's a huge blessing. And so now it's even better. Like follower count doesn't matter as much anymore. What matters is that you're putting out content that is interesting to your ideal client avatar. And the algorithms work their little voodoo magic in the background, and people who are your ideal client avatar, if you're speaking to them with your content, it'll be shown to them. And so that's what you need to be putting out there. And you need to do a mix of it. We could do a whole podcast on this too. We could do a podcast on each of these methods, but this is just a little, snippet of ideas. But yeah, it needs to be consistent. This isn't going to work if, today I'm going to post. And then tomorrow, maybe not. And then next Thursday, I'll post. And then, I don't know, I'm going to go away on holiday for a week and not post. And then next Tuesday, I'll post. That's not going to work. It has to be consistent. 1 to 2 times, at least a day. And that's why having software like the engine becomes so crucial, so you can schedule it out. And so this is like, if you do not schedule it, it's going to consume your time. And so you need to block off time every single day, or block off a chunk of time on a Monday and write your posts for the week in the engine, schedule them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is that you're doing, get them scheduled and be done. You can't mull on this all day. And so you need to schedule it. You need to get done. You need to get it posted, and create your ideas for your content. And then you'll start to see the engagement, and you're thinking about your existing clients, the clients that you want your existing clients to refer. So all of those things we've already talked about with Steve and you, Jono, you're including that in your organic posts. And so it fuels that. But you got to schedule it. And so the engine becomes crucial. You need to get in there and you need to do the scheduling. You can't be writing it every day.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, obvious one is, one thing we teach a lot is paid Facebook ads. So in today's modern society, like, every single business needs paid ads. Every single business runs paid ads. They wouldn't survive without them, in my opinion, based on when you look at the data and the budget that companies use and spend on ads. But the problem is, I think a lot of people think paid ads are magic, that, you can put up an ad and every single person that sees that ad is going to be the perfect client for you, be already pre-qualified to spend, book themselves in, and be absolutely amazing. The reality is that's not how any type of marketing works, especially when it comes to colder marketing and prospecting, because paid ads is really prospecting. And what prospecting means is you're throwing yourself out there, you're putting out an offer, a hook, and there will be a percentage of people who are interested in that. And from those people that are interested in that, there's going to be a percentage of people that are ready to talk to you right now. And from the people that are ready to talk to you right now, there's going to be a percentage that you create quality clients from. So I think that a big mistake people make when it comes to paid ads is expecting that it's a magic silver bullet that I just need to write better ads and it will find me my great clients. But that's not the reality. The reality, as we know, as Steve says, great clients are made, not found. But paid ads are a really amazing way for you to get something out there quick, get potential clients in the door quick, and make quick bookings. But you have to have, mindset is the most important thing when it comes to paid ads, because you have to accept that people are probably not going to pick up the phone the first time. They're probably not going to pick up the phone the second time. They're probably going to ignore your first text and your first email. They're maybe going to pick up the phone the third time, but you got to keep trying, and never give up on your potential clients. But it's a great way. Like, there's members who are booking 6 to 8 sessions a week from their paid ads, but they have that mindset in place. They have that follow-up system in place. And those clients are like, one of our clients, I'm not going to mention her name because we didn't ask her yet about this, but she's doing 6 figures a month now. 6 figures a month in revenue. And 90% of her clients are from Facebook, and they're spending 10,000, 15,000. So, it's a very valid form of marketing that you need in your marketing mix. So, absolutely, you need paid ads, but there are nuances. And Jeanine and Steve, those nuances.
Again, that same person when she was in a funk with the wrong mindset was struggling to make a booking, and things were bad there for a while. But again, mindset and being around the right people, and being around people that are going to lift you and celebrate your wins, and help you, it is key to keeping your focus and keeping your mindset.
Look at you teeing me up perfectly.
Well, I know. You were teeing us up perfectly, too. We're going to tee you back because you need to have the right systems in place, Jonathan. It might be easy to turn on a Facebook ad, but if you don't have the follow-up system in place for it, those leads are just going to come in and go nowhere.
Absolutely. And to do any of these things, you need the right system, like your referral marketing, your calling your VIP clients, your portrait parties, your organic marketing, your Facebook ads, and all of that we teach you and help you implement inside the inner circle. So what you need to do is click the link below, join the inner circle, and join a thriving community of difference maker photographers who are succeeding better than ever before. They're making lots of money. They have lots of happy clients. They're doing very well, better than any other photographer out there. So make sure you join. See you on the inside. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. See you on the inside.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.